Hey kids, Inverted Cow here, and welcome back to Space Engineers. Just last night, Space Engineers released a new update, something that they haven't done in a long time. And if I close to main screen here, they brought in the decorative block. Yeah, this is a downloadable content. Yeah, I'm not spending money on it. I can't afford it. But you can now have a bunch of pretty blocks, including toilets. Yes, we still don't eat food, but we need to have a toilet. Figure that out. Anyhow, they also added customizable LCDs and the ability to record yourself. So I could record a guy at a station and walk past myself at that station, that kind of thing. I might play with that later. The customizable... Shush up, woman. Customizable LCD screen here is what you see in front of me. And if you go into control stations, go to control panel, scroll all the way down, you can set it up to do a bunch of variety of different things. A digital clock, the velocity you're traveling at, your gravities, any hydrogen or energy that you have, an artificial horizon, which I don't understand why you'd want that, an analog clock, which most people wouldn't know what the heck to do with that if they jumped up and bit them in the nose. Or you can put in text and images. For example, you could throw in I don't know how to preview these. You can throw in some of the different signs and such that show up in the game. I'm going to leave it with script. And I had energy and hydrogen showing. I have no hydrogen at this time, but eventually I'm going to be putting in some hydrogen bottles to store hydrogen, and it shows, of course, there is no energy. I don't know why, but it shows that. There is a script out there that I can get, and I'm still thinking of putting it in. It's a LCD display script that gives you energy readings and various data. I'm not sure what the script is called, and I have to look for it. I've seen it previewed on a couple other YouTubers' videos, and it's definitely something I'm interested in setting up. But I want to introduce you to the finished auto miner. Last episode, you remember I had the cargo box in the wrong spot on the drill. I've basically taken it all apart and moved it. I've doubled up on the large thrusters to left and right, forward and backwards, and up and down. Down still is just a bunch of small thrusters, but it's 12 small thrusters going down, which gives me sufficient vertical thrust. I've got one battery upside down, and I don't really care. But my next objective is to set up the auto mining script. Now, I have not played with this auto mining script before, so that has got to be very annoying. I'm not entirely sure all the details, so if I screw up or I have a lot of cuts coming up because I have to switch back and forth between screens, that's what's going to happen. But I want to set this auto miner up so that it actually works. I have tested it out, and it will carry a full cargo box of inventory. So first what we have to do is open up the control screen. And then we need to find, actually what I think I'm going to do first is I'm going to disconnect it from the station. That way I'm not getting station info screens and crap like that. So programmable block, and then what we're going to do is we're going to custom data, no, edit, and browse scripts, and we're going to install PAM. This is an auto mining system. I'm not entirely sure if I have to double check if they did an update or not. 290308. So this was done on the 8th was the last update. And I think there was another one that was just put out, but I'm not too worried about it. Okay. Now there is a thing here that tells you all the things you have to do, which is exactly repeated on the Steam, so this is kind of helpful. The script was used. Dock your ship, start recording, fly to the job area, stop recording, set up the job, start the process. So basically, you need to record a path from this connector to where you want to set up the job. It will tell you how to set up the job. And many commands to control from a distance. And there is a way to hook this up with who's it's
storm inbound.
Shush. To hook this up with antennas so you can actually get inventory or status updates at the control station from your ships. So this is going to have to get set up with that. Now it will do a maximum of 100 meters at 50 meters depth, so it will only do so much, so I have to reposition it every time I finish that. I will be using it basically for ship mining, strictly for mining. Running the reset command. I still got to figure out what this reset command. More details in the guide. Ship setup. Okay, so we have to make sure we have all the things. We've got a remote control, a programmable block, connectors, thrusters, gyros, drills, LCD, a sensor, and you need it with the drilling mode too. Your docking station needs sorters with, this is supposed to be drain all. I don't know what all this is, but that's okay. Which we have. The remote control block is aligned, and the remote's downside, and PAM tag when there is more than one available. Add the PAM where there are more. Okay, the LCD, you can have multiple LCDs. Landing gears, not worried about landing gears. Batteries or hydrogen tanks, not worried about that. I have batteries. Yeah, I'm not too worried about PAM using the batteries because it's running on reactors. I actually put in 4 reactors, I believe, so we're fine on that. Okay. Show sensor fields, K in the menu info tab. Okay. Up, down, and apply. Okay. So basically we need to set up, first we need to copy this into the editor, check the code. Okay. Hit OK, see if it actually works. Then what we need to do is okay, we're back. Not sure how long that cut was, but I've been fighting with this for about 3 hours now. Here's the problem. If I load into the control panel, I load into the, where are you here? Remote control, programmable block, and edit, browse my scripts. I bring in the PAM auto miner, check code, I get this error message. According to Steam and forums and all the other things I found, I need to upgrade my Microsoft.NET framework. The problem I have is when I bought this computer, it came pre-installed with a version of Windows 10. I had contacted Microsoft support and had them change it to a version of Windows 7. Unfortunately, they failed to give me an activation key for Windows 7. I cannot get Windows 7 to activate because I have what Microsoft is now saying is a pirated version of Windows 7. I cannot update my Windows, .NET framework from version 3 to version 4 point whatever it is now. So I can't use PAM for mining. Remember I've mentioned that I've had a lot of problems with my potato calculator. Yes, that is one of them. Don't have the $20,000 to buy a good computer, so I have to deal with this pile of delights. So anyhow, the way this is supposed to work is you program a course from point A to point B, wherever my drilling location is. Now, of course, I'm just using this as a test on this location. I can't even find where I'm going here. Yeah, there we go. I've been fighting with this for so long, I'm just, there's nothing good I can say about Microsoft. You know, like, I'm sorry, anybody who's a big Microsoft fan, hey, more power to you. I've been fighting Microsoft headaches since version 3, 3.7 or whatever it was that it was, way back in the DOS days. And not once, not one time, not one Microsoft update has ever been good. I mean, I remember with 98 they put a virus into the security code. So basically, after X number of days, your computer would become unstable. It was the whole point of their virus was to force you to actually purchase a better version of Microsoft. Yeah, nothing good about them. Crooked, deceitful, wretched, horrible, terrible, evil. You pick your adjectives. I have yet to find one that says an awesome product and beautiful, fabulous customer service, because they don't. If you don't use their programs, work with their system, play their little games, you're kind of screwed. Okay, I can't see where I'm going here because for some reason I seem to have lined up on the dark side of this asteroid. I was hoping to drill into that hole again, but maybe what I'll do is I'll just go down. I don't have the ore sensor on this yet, so I can't go down to where the ore is, but let's jump out of this. I have already tunneled it back in. This is the cargo box. I've tunneled it back in as far as I want to go on this one axis here. I never meant this to be a manual miner, so I don't have certain things in it like an ore detector or a camera lighting or anything like that. So I have to either wait for the sun to come around to this side of the asteroid to see what I'm doing, or I gotta go someplace else. We won't tell you exactly how frustrated I am, but I'm pretty sure that if you have any concept of, yeah, you can guess. I think that is uranium there. Yes, this is a uranium deposit here, so we can do at least a drill on that stuff. So we turn on the drills, number 2. And I need a way to set my forward inertia. Oops, just a tiny tap forward. You don't want to go much faster than 20.25 meters per second forward with this thing. Now, of course, I'm a long ways away here. I'm not even close to this thing, but that's okay. It is possible to come in way too fast and way too hot, so I got to be careful of that. I'm just using the Xbox controller here because then I can just put a tiny bit of forward thrust on, and I can bleed the power off just gently. Alright, there we go. Now we're getting up to it. Put the controller aside. Jump out. I can actually watch this go in. And it should theoretically just dig right into this. Now, of course, once this is done, if I can figure out how to fix this Microsoft problem without pulling what's left of my mind out here, yeah, then I can get this program working and I can set these auto miners up. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to manually mine for a while until I can figure something out. So, yeah, can't say anything good right now about this. Now, I do need to do is show all connected inventories. I do need to do is set up some kind of thing that will actually give me a readout on my overall inventory, how much crap I've loaded, because it picks random things to load in order. You have to kind of keep your eye on it. But as you can see, just drifting forward, you can very easily clear out just a whole swath of stuff. I should be getting into stone and God knows what other kind of garbage right now. Just those, please. Yeah, now we're getting into stone more than uranium. We got one cargo box filled and it's doing another cargo box. And I'm okay with that. I'll let it just fill stone and uranium and whatever. But as you can see, it clears a much larger swath than the first version did. Even though I'm probably only picking Yeah, I'm not picking an entire path. Like I'm not taking the whole drill face in one shot. I'm taking a good portion of it, but I'm just carving just a swath off the side here. We appear to be filling up very quickly here, so what we'll do is we'll turn on inertial dampeners. That should stop our forward motion. And we'll turn off inertial dampeners, and we just hit backwards thrust a little bit till we get moving in reverse. While leaving the drills on to just let them drag over the stone on your way out. They're all probably already filled and stuffed, so you get this beautiful cloud effect of particles, but you're not actually damaging anything. Now I don't know if the PAMs will do that or if it runs with using thrusters, because I've noticed that these all seem to do is thrusters max, you know, rather than just drift. It's thrusters are on and they're on full and they don't care. They're gonna move, and that's all there is to it. But unlike the first version ship here, as you can see, I can maneuver this ship fairly well, even fully loaded now. It doesn't get stuck. It turns a lot slower. Turn those thrusters off. It turns a lot slower, rotates a lot slower when it's fully loaded than when it's empty, but it still performs quite nicely. So we're just going to take this back to dock here, if I can. And there you can see it's switched to yellow, so now we're within range of the other connector, and we'll just turn off thrusters and turn on the connector, and that should pull the ship close to the thing and connect it. Now we can jump out. Now of course it's whining that there's no fuel, but I think that's a space engineer's glitch. So until I can fix my Microsoft problems or unless somebody happens to have a spare PC that they just want to, you know, let me have, I'm going to have to manually mine with this thing. I'm not too keen on that, but well, that's how it goes, I guess. So thanks all for watching, kids. Hopefully next episode we will continue on with something else. I'm not sure what, but the next project on my list is going to be to go and explore some of these unknown signals. Also, I want to continue working on digging out what's going to eventually become the landing thing underneath. And then I'll probably start working on building a welding, what do you call it, a welding platform for welding some of these little ships up, as well as some fighters. Probably also going to do some missiles and a few other odds and ends like that as time goes by. But yeah, I'd like to get about 3 or 4 of these drones functional, and I want to figure out all the programming for them to get them to actually go where I want them to go and all that jazz. But that's another problem for later. So thanks all for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode where we will hopefully be doing something else. Good night for now.